Live on YouTube, live on X. Hello everybody. How are we doing? Crypto is absolutely wrecked. Crypto is wrecked. I still have hope. But man, it's looking dark out there. And there's no telling how much longer this can go on for. So hang in there. Because who knows? But it will come around at some point in the future. Crypto will survive. Ethereum will be at $10,000 one day. Just not now. ETH is kind of leading the altcoins market other than the meme coin casino, which is really what crypto's devolved into. But if you want meme coin casino, we got pump.tires. It's like pump fun, but it burns coins. So we're on pulsechain. Try launching a coin. Somebody launched one the other day and made it out and into pulsex. It graduated. I forgot which coin though. I think it was like OG. No, that coin was actually maybe launched by another team. There's been some coins graduating on pump tires. People are still playing. People are not leaving. Bitfinesse, the reverberation is by design. Johnny Chaos, the humming noise is by design. This is isochronic tones to help you focus. If you hate it, let me know if you hate it. Hey, James Gear, thanks for the subscription. If you hate the noise, tell me you hate the noise, or if you want me to lower it, you can tell me to lower it, but this is called isochronic tones. It's to help you focus. It's not music, and it might not actually get me copyright striked. So, there's a method to my madness here. Just experimenting, everybody. Let me know if you like the isochronic tones. I can't really do binaural beats, otherwise I'd have to assume everybody would be wearing headphones to have a differential. So, isochronic in case you're listening on speakers. Let's see what the name of this one is. The name of this one is Peak Focus for Complex Tasks. Just tones. Just tones, no music. Hope you like your tones, everybody. Yeah, put some tunes on, my man. Maybe. Maybe I will. I'll get copyright striked as soon as I do, but that's okay. Hate the noise. Okay, Jordan Boss hates it. We'll move it down a little bit. I like that everyone hates it, says Bitfinesse. Bitfinesse says, if everybody hates it, then crank it. It's kind of like when you tell people not to buy a coin, right? They just want to go buy it. Put on some fun tunes instead. Jordan Boss, perhaps. Perhaps. We'll see how the rest of the chat's feeling. Now, I believe you can only comment on YouTube. Let me know if my X live stream commenting is disabled. Because I don't know if X live stream comments are disabled or if I just don't get them. Because if I just don't get them, that's a different story. 3 years of brutality, feel dead inside. Hopefully that's the bottom signal exactly. Like, I heard somebody on Twitter saying, maybe I should just sell because then we could go back up again. It's funny, but I'm dead inside. I'm laughing on the inside. Crypto Steve says can't hear. That's because I just turned it down. Turn your screen upside down and pulsechain charts look great. I saw somebody do that, right? I saw somebody flip the PLS chart upside down. And when you replace the red candles with green candles, then seems like we've been in a bull market for years. But the reality is very dark. The reality is very dark. There's extraction going on, obviously. There's been extraction going on. I'm not just talking about PDI. I'm talking about INC farms, hacks, anybody that's been mining PLS in various different ways. With the latest, it just seems a bit silly. Like, we don't have to just be giving money away like that. I don't like to see somebody give away money to a blatant exploiter. And I can just imagine the MakerDAO team just laughing at us, knowing that they could help. They could run the ESM module with their 150k Maker tokens, but why would they? Richard Hart's blackballed, pulsechain is hated. They want to see us fail. So regardless of what you're in, don't give up, because that's what they want. Now, the PDI situation is a tough one, because the slow rug from, let's say, 20k a day being extracted, a bull market can overpower that. But you're still making a very, very small cabal of guys who figured this exploit out. Very, very wealthy. Estimates are, you know, anywhere from $10 to even $20 million extracted this during this whole past 2 years. Now that might be true, but guess what? There's people that have extracted 10 to $20 million in other coins. There's people that have been dumping Hex, people that have been dumping INC token, people that have been dumping Pulse this whole time. So the market's been able to eat all that up. Like I said on Twitter, it's less dead weight on the way back up. You'd rather they capitulate at the lows than have way more sell pressure at the top. But it's tough, you know, it's not to say there's not extraction happening in every single coin, but that's why the Hex yield is now lower for everybody. The INC yield is now lower for everybody. The liquidity is super thin. So the environment is basically primed to get people to capitulate. A lot of people's money printers got turned off. Now, as far as I know, the PDI guy still has a money printer. And even though Richard Hart's clearly not behind it, there's a lot of wishful thinking that he was. And I don't want the party to stop. Like, I really don't want the party to stop. I want people to be able to trade their PDI, even if it's only as a meme. The party should go on. But then you've got Atropa dev that can literally mint infinite T-bill and extract infinite Atropa and extract up to $3 billion worth of DAI. That's locked in that liquidity pool. I don't like that. Where somebody that can nuke the price at any time and literally went on camera and showed himself dumping millions of dollars of it. At least 700,000 I've heard on camera. Like, you really want to keep buying into that? It just seems so blatantly obvious. There's so much other awesome stuff going on. So much other awesome stuff going on. But I do encourage everybody, get your developer friends together and start trying to recreate the exploit. See, the reason that the exploit, in my opinion, can't be recreated, I've tried, is because we're at the global debt ceiling. And the exploiters are making sure that we stay at that global debt ceiling. Every time we move like 0.001% out of it, we seem to get right back there quickly. And so when you try to run the draw function in DSS proxy actions, you know, the transactions get reverted when you try to draw. You can open a vault, you can open lock ETH, but you can't draw. But I do encourage everybody to set up a monitor, right? Set up a listener, an event listener, for when we have open debt to mint. And when PDI becomes mintable, I hope that more and more people can start to do this exploit. I really do. That might sound crazy. But the more people that do it, the more chance we have of somebody that figures it out to actually not just be a total jeet. Wouldn't that be great if somebody learned how to do this, but then funneled all the money back into the ecosystem for good? Maybe they pump up whatever. They can pump up their own meme coin. That would be an event that would be highly entertaining. And also, you have to understand the fact, too, that some people out there, even if they're not exploiting themselves, they might have bought 1 billion coins, right? They might have bought 1 billion PDI early. So they have every single financial incentive to keep the game going for themselves. They don't want the game to stop. 1 billion PDI is what? $2 million? And there's a lot of people with 5-figure, 6-figure bags. A lot of people where it's their heaviest bag. Clearly, I'm sure a lot of people are concerned. And there's valid concerns out there. It seems like the exploiter is not going to let the joy fall to zero, which would trigger the flop auctions. But if the flop auctions happen, what I really would love to see happen is people buy up all that P-Maker and then run the ESM module. If people can buy up 150k P-Maker, then we don't have to rely on exchanges or the MakerDAO team to run the ESM module. That might also stop the minter. I don't know, but it seems like that might never happen. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, read Maker documentation. docs.maker.com. docs.makerdao.com. Read it. Because the more people we can try to hack this thing, the higher the probability that this either ends faster or can be actually used for good. Don't be afraid to get in there. You know, there's a lot of wishful thinking and people just hoping and praying that it's not going to be that bad. It might be. This guy can keep dumping. And look, 20k a day. If that's just a average ballpark number, right? 20k sell pressure. You can overcome that. For example, how much sell pressure were there for weekly rolling stakes or monthly rolling stakes in Hex? Probably a lot more than that. But there's also higher liquidity. So you got to imagine all the PDI stuff. You're basically dealing with a net total of about $400,000 buy side. So 20K out of 400K, that's about 5% of the total liquidity pool daily getting dumped on average. So yes, it's less buy pressure because less sell pressure because less people know the exploit. But it's also into a lower, smaller liquidity pool, so it matters more. And so far, seems like the exploiter has just been selling for dollars with no intention of helping out the ecosystem at all, which I don't like to see. So on that situation, again, I'd like to see other people try to recreate it or do something similar. Or go get one of your buddies from pre-May 13th, 2023. If somebody has an existing MakerDAO vault, they might be able to run the liquidate yourself in the auction loop. Liquidate yourself, buy your collateral back lower, open a new vault, mint new DAI, liquidate yourself. They might be able to run this. I believe existing vault holders have a major advantage here. So if you know any smart people that were using MakerDAO or DeFi back in 2023 or earlier, go hit them up, go hit up your developer friends. I think the more people hacking on this, the better, because the more people compete with, as far as we know, a single bad actor. It might be a small group. I want the game to go on. I'm not fudding your bags, I'm being realistic, I'm telling you what's actually happening. And then on the other side, you've got random Maria guy who can decide to mint themselves up to 3 billion. What is that? Let's call it 2 billion PDI anytime they want. They can infinite mint treasury bill, which they've done, which is on chain. You could look at it. You could literally look at this happening. They literally made a video of them doing it. So you can't say that didn't happen. And 2 billion PDI, I mean, that's about, what, $4 million at today's prices? That's $4 million of potential sell pressure trying to squeeze through $400,000 of buy-side liquidity. 4 million trying to squeeze through potentially a 10x lower, smaller hole. So I hope it all works out. And I hope more people try to recreate this. I hope the flop auctions happen. If they do, I hope somebody buys 150k PMaker and runs ESM. Maybe there's a proposal to fix the Oracle, but I don't think that matters. I no longer think that fixing the Oracle actually matters. I mean, as Alex from Hedron has said, the ideal price to the system, the fair price of a PDI, is much, much lower than it is today, relative to what the PMakerDAO system thinks it should be. So, a lot more of a slow bleed out. Let's hope Atropa guy doesn't just go totally AWOL. I don't know what to make of all those cryptic messages. It's just kind of nonsense to me. So you could tell me, oh, you just don't get it. Yeah, but you don't probably get it either. No one can give an explanation of whatever that is. I don't know how connected everybody is at the top. But then you've got this Maria guy trying to make Sami the fall guy. I'll stick up for Sami in that case. That whole tirade really weirded me out. This guy only speaks in cryptic messages on IRC chats and he's your new god? Like what? Makes a video of him dumping. Talks about random cabal in Colorado. None of it makes any sense. So let's not pretend it actually does. No grand plan from Richard to put up billions of dollars of collateral either. And that's the harsh truth. I'm going to give you uncomfortable truths, not pleasant lies. If you don't like it, turn the channel off. But that's why shit sucks right now. And that's not the only reason. We see people capitulating. We saw a very big core bag whale. A lot of people like to rag on this guy. He can do whatever he wants with his money. He's been dumping Pulse, Hex, and INC token this whole time too. So it's not fun to look at that either. But I've seen us recover, you know. last year, we were 10 times higher. PLS was 10x higher last year with apparently the same whales, apparently the same exploiters. That was with INC farm extraction. That was with Hex rolling staker extraction. So I know we have the potential to be 10x higher with, even with extractive individuals. I just think this is an ultimate shakeout at the lows. And I think Richard, the founder, can probably hold his breath longer than anybody here. I think he could just let it drop as far as it needs to shake as many people out as he can. So prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Not going to be a hopium stream. Hey, Rabby Wallet is still up. That's some good news, huh? Rabby Wallet decided not to delist us? Fingers crossed. They're probably going to still. They're probably still going to. Rabby Wallet. Let's take a look at... Oh, I've got the OG printers up. Speaking of good things going on in the ecosystem, check out the Finvesta OG Web Chef stuff. Seriously, I know the names of these coins are silly. You look at these coins and you're like, Flexmas, Beast. This one's not even a name. It's just like an arrow or an emoji. Look, the names are stupid, but there's something there. If you're looking for new stuff, new money printers, yield to stay afloat. Shout out to Hexagon Hill and Jesus Escobar, all the guys, OG Web Chef. This is a liquidity web that actually has bots running and feeding you all the profits. Arbitrage bots, market maker bots. There's something real here. And I think it's infinitely better than a coin named after a poisonous flower. So, what do we got on the top 100? Is anything green today? OG, I got an airdrop of this token, so shout out to whoever airdropped me this. I think it launched from the Vox. Vox has a new token generator where you can actually mint tax tokens and you can create burns. Like they do token burns and token taxes. And I got a random airdrop of, yeah, today it's about $78. Last night it was like $120. Free money's free money. It's just a coin, guys. One issue, has suspicious functions. That's probably the tax tokens. Be careful selling this, but it's not... If you want to dump it, dump it. I'm not buying any more. But just a little, nice little treat. What's this one? This one's up 7x today. PMX. The pulsechain 500 index, a meme coin index. This is an interesting idea. I've actually thought about this idea before. A meme coin index. Should we go to the website? PMX5, probably just a regular... Well, I mean, if this is actually real, I don't know if the tech here is actually real, but congrats on PMX holders, I suppose, for your 7x. Meet the team. Andrew Tate, Do Kwon, Bernie Madoff, Sam Bankman-Fried, Alex Mashinsky. Oh, legendary team here. Legendary team at PMX 500. Bambi, the service manager. This is obviously a joke. This is obviously a joke, but...
is safe. Your banks are safe. There's enough cash in the financial system, and there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. An infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
Gotta love this video.
An infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
The meme index that's too degen to fail. Well, I wouldn't go all in on this, but it's kind of an interesting idea if it actually works.
ATM.
An index that tracks the top 500 coins. Interesting. Mildly interesting. Congrats on the pump today. Over the past couple hours. I wonder if that graduated from pump.fun. Or I mean pump.tires. Those are basically the only coins that are up today. Sun Mini Meal, haven't heard about that coin in a while. Doubt token is up 5%. Glory is up 2%. Hardly any volume on these. Everything else is wrecked, everybody. The price is totally incongruent with on-chain metrics. I agree, Hexy McHexican. Great name, Hexy McHexican. When he says on-chain metrics, I'm thinking that he's meaning... Let's go to gopulse.com to show you what Hexy McHexican is talking about. prices suck. Ooh, that's rough. 30% down on the week, all-time lows. Very, very rough. But look at this. Daily volume, still above 20 million. Still higher than it was in August. Volume is like 5 times higher, 4 times higher than it was in the summertime. So we're at a new low, but we got more volume and less liquidity. More volume and less liquidity. More activity, less liquidity, probably due to INC payouts, primarily, being reduced. Trades are up. Look at the trades. The daily trading. Today there's been 329,000. In the summertime, the last time we went to our low point, we had about a third of that only. I mean, the stats are good. You look on DeFi Llama, you look at the TVL, the stable coins on chain is 50 million about. You look at the 24-hour revenue of PulseX as a DEX. It's in the top 10 DeFi protocols for 24-hour revenue. So there's real users here. Real rekt users. Jordan now says, I love the tunes. Oh, are you talking about the... Yeah, you're talking about the website that I was just at? Low price buying opportunity. You know, I get some passive income, but I don't get it for another 15 days. Otherwise, I would be buying right now. I did buy, I converted some coins into some of those OG Web Chef things. Remember token, Gas Money token, Beast. I bought some of these. I didn't buy Flexmas. That one just shot up randomly 2 days ago. But I don't know much about it. Still lots to learn. I'm sure I'm going to have one of these guys, one of the developers on at some point. Hey Zeus, maybe you if you'd like to, or whoever the actual OG Web Chef is, or whoever wants to talk about that whole ecosystem, because I still have a lot to learn with Finvesta. And I'm going to be honest, my roadblock with it was that I thought it was, in my head, just another stupid meme coin. You know, the little dog, little cartoon dog is like the logo for Finvesta. I brushed it off. I didn't realize how much was actually built there. So when you see so much generic shit every day, you're like, oh, Finvesta, yeah, whatever. But guys, look. Just do some research on it. I'm not saying go all in on it, but there's something there. And it would be a shame to at least not take a look at that. What are the exploiters selling into? Where is the value going? They're selling into regular DAI, and the value is going off-chain. Hence, extraction. I mean, that's this one exploiter. If there were more extractors that could use their powers for good, I would love to see that. Please, Alex from Hedron, save us if you can. Or anybody else, really. This is actually a call to action for any developers or just ambitious individuals. If you've got smart friends, go look into the exploit. Maybe if you've got a buddy that had a vault pre-May of 2023, before the pulsechain fork, they've got a forked copy of that vault. They might be able to mint from it, or they might be able to liquidate themselves and run the old infinite loop. I can do single-sided staking on emit, stake emit, and earn e-DAI over 1,000% at the moment. Sounds too good to be true. But sometimes those 1,000% APYs are like when the thing first comes out. What is emit? I don't see it here. Someone in the chat is shilling emit. Is this just another yield farm? No info about it. Pretty thin liquidity. Only $4,000 of buy-side liquidity here. I'm not too sure. Oh, is this related to IMPLS? I'm going to need more info about that. Can't really say anything about it. Look at the burn rate. Let's take a look at the burn rate, shall we? Crypto Steve, that's a good point. So, remember guys, summer, the last time we were at a low, the previous all-time low, we had 4 times lower volume. We were more dead activity-wise at the previous low. There's more activity than ever. There's like 5 times higher volume than there was back then. If we go to the homepage here, we could see, excluding the origin address, 6.8. We're coming up on 7% burned. So the PulseX buy and burn gets maximized the lower the price goes, because the buy can buy more PLS for a cheaper price. The transaction fees can eat up more Pulse cheaper. So I guess the one silver lining in all this is that PLSX is becoming incredibly scarce. We've got almost 7% in less than 2 years of the total supply. Now, couple that with everybody that cheated, everybody that had weak hands that ran off to go chase something else, PulseX might be way more scarce than we think. And it's almost at parity with PLS. Pretty interesting, guys. Pretty interesting. X-Monkey says, people sure do buy weird stuff on this chain. That's okay, more cores for me. People do. People do. And look, man, you gotta factor in that this is... No one wants to admit that they had a sunk cost. Sunk cost fallacy, right? So if I rode my bag up 100x and then I rode it all the way back down, I still remember what that 100x feels like. Now you could say the same thing about Hex holders. I believe Hex will come back. I know for a fact that Richard's behind Hex and that Hex was created by Richard and that Hex doesn't have a bug or an exploit in the code. But I understand the feeling that the PDI holders are probably still feeling. The party goes on. And I'll do what I can to incentivize the party going on. I just want to stop the harm. Stop the bleed out. 20k a day is kind of a small number, but it's big relative to the PDI liquidity pools. Atropa is a potential nuke. I really don't like that part. I think we need more people looking at this. I think we need more technical eyes on it. More developers, more people saying what's actually going on, and more people reading the documentation. Acid Thunder says, hey, Coffee. What's up, Acid Thunder? Michael LaForm says, is the bull market over? Did the bull market ever really start? This time is different, man. I think the cycle's way different this time. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, like, the cycle is not the same. It's different than any other cycle we've had. Crypto's never existed outside of quantitative tightening until now. Ethereum and the Bitcoin to ETH ratio is at an 8-year low. But institutions are bullish as hell. Institutions are not scared at all. Credit spreads are fine. Inflation's coming down. Money printer goes burr. Interest rates are going to come down. And while we're all scared, the institutions could care less. They're just laughing because they know they're going to integrate stablecoins into every bank. They're going to give out DeFi yields to every bank account. They're moving their slimy little centralized tentacles into all your banking apps. Look, Venmo, PayPal, Robinhood, they're already doing crypto. So every institution is going to get on board, and after they've packed their bags, after they've secured their strategy for them to make fees on you, then they're going to shill it. The infrastructure is all there. The SEC has been reassigned to better things. Everything is really, really awesome in the institutional / regulatory sense. I think you've got Trump, a new president. You've got the federal government worried about losing their jobs. You've got tariff fears every 2 weeks. Apparently the market hasn't caught on that these tariff scares always end up in negotiations very quickly. Within days, usually. So we're going to be all right. It's kind of like the bull market never actually started. For us, at least. But we've had some good times. I mean, this time last year, things were good. People were making money. If we get a little tiny crumb of optimism back in the market again, I'm going to launch a meme coin. You guys are going to hate it, but you're going to love it. Half of you are going to hate it, half of you are going to love it. That's the point. The controversy. Some of you might make money on it if you're early. Some of you might buy the top and ride it down and then either decide if you want to sell or buy the dip. Fun times are ahead. I've got plans. Everybody's got plans. I think the best way to handle it is just to start building or getting back to work. And I've just been working on a whole variety of things behind the scenes. Trying to stay sane, and the more you can distract yourself with productive things, hitting the gym, hanging out with your friends, family, working if you have to, scheming, starting a business, that really does take your mind off of stuff. Scrolling X all day, usually directly proportional to anger and sadness. Lots of anger and sadness on the internet. So just try to plan for the future. TVL is down since INC inflation reduced. That was one of our better metrics. Is TVL down? Is TVL down? I think so, yeah. TVL is down to 71 million. Look at that liquidity. But that's only liquidity on PulseX. Let's try to find out the complete TVL. So I guess if you count in 9-inch and FUX on 9mm and Daytona and SparkSwap, got about 87 million on-chain DEX liquidity. You could also see that we've got a pretty decent amount of stuff locked in liquid loans. There's 11 more million dollars. There's 29 million. So there's probably over 100 million TVL, maybe 130 million. Validators got $30 million in them. 1.56 trillion pulse in validators. So 43 million here plus 87 million. That is 130 million. 130 million. The ground will shake once he makes his move. RH not tweeting means he's cooking. Yeah, it's like, you guys think Richard's just sitting around doing nothing? I would love to hear from Richard. I'd love to hear what he's got planned, but all those plans from a couple years ago, I'm betting on the fact that he's still doing some work on those. Wallet, buying an exchange. Can you imagine if he bought a centralized exchange? That's a money printer. That could be recycled back into pulsechain. Richard, I hope you're out there scheming and working and staying safe and staying healthy. And I know whatever you're cooking up, Mr. Hart, it's going to be glorious one day. It's hard, you know, the guy probably doesn't get what the respect he deserves. His coins are all down 90%. It's pretty tough when you've got your hands tied by the SEC, though. You can't say anything about it. But I do think part of this, I mean, look, he came out and told you guys, yo, I'm not behind PDI. Some people are in denial, that's fine. They want to say, well, you know, he's trying to protect himself, sure. But he had to come out and say how he felt about the whole situation. So I'm going to go take him at face value. You know, I'm trying to use common sense here and not read into the deep meaning of cryptic messages. Sometimes people aren't trying to give you secret messages. They're just saying it how it is. Richard's always been like the say it how it is guy. So I'm convinced that there's no secret messages here, that he's not going to put up billions of his dollars of collateral to peg this. But I do hope it can continue to exist in some form of minimized extraction as somewhat of a meme coin. Because can it meme to $1? Of course it can. It can easily meme to $1 on low liquidity. But pegging? Sorry guys. It's not Richard. Not going to be Richard's collateral. Is the 414 dev a Jeet? Well, yeah, you literally you could watch a video of him dumping his Atropa, $700,000 of it. Atropa's got deep liquidity with PDI. Atropa has ownership pronounced, but guess what? T-Bill has infinite mint. What do you think he's doing about the exploit? I don't know if he's doing anything. I would hope that he's trying to recreate the exploit. If I had access to a team of hardcore devs, and I do have some really, really smart friends, and guys, we are working on this. Me and my friends are working on this too. But I would hope or like to imagine that Richard is trying to recreate the exploit to use it to pump the ecosystem. Because this could be used to just recycle money back into other stuff, instead of just get constantly dumped for EDI and bridged out. Rockstar says, I can't sell, I'm a crazy loon bird. Everyone I know will tease me until I snap. I will never sell. I know I'm right. It's just not right now. I've been working and giggle a bit in between. You know, there is something... I feel you, Rockstar. There's almost something liberating about being at the all-time low. Nothing left to lose, so fuck it, right? We persevere. Persistence. Calvin Coolidge, look it up. 90% discount. Yeah, man. I wish I felt as excited about it as you do, but I mean, it is a good buying opportunity, yada yada. If you believe in this, I mean, it just might work out. You just might regret not buying the low in a couple years. Regular Joe is trying to compare Extractor to Gerardo. That's a terrible comparison, sir. If I remember correctly, Mintra raised a few million, hasn't dumped, whereas the Extractor has visibly dumped upwards of 7+ million. Gerardo stays here and builds for the community. Look, everyone wants to point fingers. Everybody wants somebody else to be the bad guy. Even the Atropa dude tried saying Sami was behind all this. It's laughable. Reckon it's going down till EHEX at least parity. That'd be interesting. I hope not, but at these low points, we could reach parity. I was always optimistic that maybe some kind of a psychological peg would occur, right? If EHEX and PHEX got to parity. But I think Richard tried running those experiments early on. Remember when there was a P Bitcoin and E Bitcoin? So at the beginning of PulseX, there was P Bitcoin and E Bitcoin. There was a farm for that. And it was quickly removed due to who knows why. I think it was an experiment Richard was running to see if people would try to value them as the same token. But because they weren't valued as the same, I believe he removed it. Just like he had a P Pepe and E Pepe farm, or a P Hex and E Hex farm. He removed all those because, well, people were emergency end staking all their hex to go chase the farm. And also, the Pepe community and a lot of the other DeFi communities from Ethereum, they didn't stick around, right? They came over, they dumped the airdrop, they spat in our faces, they insulted us on the way out. And so you could even see the most recent tweet from Richard talking about how airdrops used to create communities. They used to create communities, but oftentimes today, people just extract. It just attracts a bunch of locusts. They come for their airdrop, they dump, they leave. So it seems that new coins are the ones that create communities. The PRC20s don't have to die either. People can trade them all they want. I mean, you can literally pick any other PRC20 besides PDI. There's tons of them out there. Be nice to see a narrative in one of the PRC20s that didn't have an exploit. Sounds like I don't believe we're in a bull market anymore. I don't know. It's really hard to say because Bitcoin was in a bull market, but is everything else? Some people call it a kangaroo market. Just choppy volatility. T-Bird Podcast says they got pegging all wrong. Pegging to zero. Look, man, I don't want people to lose money, but it's not looking very good, and I'm not gonna like beat around the bush here. It's not looking good with a slow rugger and a potential nuker. Regular Joe. Oh, I'm sorry, Regular Joe. My bad, dude. It's all good, man. I was comparing Gerardo from looking to Hex. Reply to another guy's chat. RH's war chest is far bigger than that. Yeah. It's all good, Regular Joe. We're still friends. This liquid loans, am I not right? This is liquid loans? What are you talking about? Doesn't matter as long as we get 10,000x, but will you really need 10,000x? I don't think anybody really needs... I think hopefully you should be happy with 100x. Let's shoot for higher, but if anyone captures 100x in this ecosystem, like, especially in the core coins, the goal is to increase your position that you might have 10,000, 20,000, maybe even $100,000. 100xing on 100k is like 10 million. But these gains are still possible. It's just the liquidity dynamics. Pulse chain pairs do have thin liquidity compared to many chains. Rockstar says we. Boys and girls, any questions in the chat? Let's take a look at the old DEX screener. We got gas money down 13%. Oh no. Remember's on a dip as well. I've been hearing this Remember token might be the next one to buy. Meaning it's more of a long-term printer. It's one of the so-called core printers. And there's all these kind of satellite printers that feed back into each other. I wish I could give you an ELI 5 for the OG Web Chef ecosystem, but I barely understand it myself. Beast is a little bit sustaining this $7 to $8 range. Not bad. I've got a little bit of Beast. Most Wanted token. Most Wanted token is still up 2x. A lot of chop going on, a lot of redistribution. These candles are clear redistribution on most token. From the hands of the non-believers to the hands of the believers. You know what was so crazy? We literally saw the AMM fixer bot owner dump all their PDI, probably Richard, dump all the PDI for most token. So look, we don't know for a fact that Richard's behind any of this. Most token, or all those other meme coins. But it seems pretty clear that this origin address entity prefers most over PDI. They even bought PulseX. I don't want people to forget that. This happened on chain. You can go look at it. They sold all their PDI for PulseX and most. But you can do whatever you want. You guys can literally just do whatever you want. Do I honestly think Godwhale will pump ecosystem? I don't know if Godwhale will return with the same size. The thing about Godwhale is that back when it was only Hex, it was easy for him to pump only Hex. But now it's like, which one would he pump? Would he pump everything, the whole eco? Would he just pump PLS? I'd love to see Godwhale pump Hex again, or pump like PulseX, for example, or even INC token. Godwhale, if you're listening, it's great to have you on our team. I know the time is probably not right yet to inject crazy capital, but when we get a little bit of optimism back, I'd love to see it. Mexican Hill says, join us. Rockstar says, $1,000 would get you what was $10,000 a month ago. This is a gift. Right, we know it's possible. We know 10x higher is pretty possible. Damon says, all scams and cons. Yeah, look, man. It's easy to feel that way when the prices are wrecked. It's all a scam. Like, I talk to a lot of crypto people IRL, and there's just this general sense of apathy, and people are just tired. Like the meme, like, I'm tired, boss. I'm tired, boss. It's true. People are tired. Even people in crypto are like, yeah, fuck this. It's all a scam. I can't wait to get out of here. Capitulation vibes everywhere, guys. IRL. UFO token. How's our UFO? Ooh, yikes. God damn, that's not good. Well, PTGC UFO, it was a good run. Maybe after a little bit lower, it might be okay to buy back in. Maybe another 25% drop. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. X protocol. There's nothing green today. There's nothing green to talk about today. Except for, you know, the only green tokens today are like Meme Coin Index and OG Meme Coin and Doubt Meme Coin. And Giga Chad. Congrats, guys. Check out these yields though, guys. Beast is still paying 4% daily ROI. Gas Money is paying 2.7% daily ROI. Guys, 2.7%. Let me do the math. 2.7 times 365. These tokens are basically paying 1,000% APY. Do you see? I mean, as far as accumulating pulse, I've made... Who knows? I mean, I've made a lot of pulse in the past couple weeks. And I've only been in these coins for like a week and a half, maybe? Not even 2 weeks. I'm very pleased with whatever I see going on here, even though I do not fully grasp every single individual coin. It's a little overwhelming, guys, honestly. I hope the attention doesn't keep getting split more. I think, look, I'm not OG Web Chef, but I think you've got plenty of tokens here. And there's also some that aren't even on this list. Look, you've got like Finfire. I don't even know. Finfire's not on the list of printers. Maybe it's not a printer. I need to do some more research. Lockstockvid says, Waters Above has a very negative view of RH as a person. Do I think one day he'll change his view? Well, look, I think Waters, it's not like overwhelmingly negative. It's just it's the basic opinion that everybody has at surface level with Richard Hart. All they know about him is they see the video of him in the mall with all the shopping bags. They see the pictures of his stupid clown outfits, $10,000 Gucci fit. That's all they see. I guarantee there's no single Richard Hart hater out there that's actually watched more than 2 hours of his content. So I guess I don't really fault Waters for that, because he takes it completely hands off. He's not necessarily so concerned with fundamentals, more so chart structure. Like, he follows numerology, charts. It's a totally different kind of a trading system. So far, he's been right a lot. He's been very correct about basically the doom situation for us here. But he does project things actually turning around eventually. Gerardo says, is it sad that I'd love to see RH stream? No, it's not sad. I'd love to see it too. I'd love to see a Richard Hart stream. Richard, we miss you. Dark times, Richard. I'm sure Richard's just like shaking his head in disappointment right now. I'd bet 100 grand Hex won't even hit 5 cents this year. Dang. I don't think I'd make that bet. I actually think it's kind of likely that it will. Still got 9 months, 8 months left. Eliza's the Debbie Downer in the chat. Look, man, I get it. I get it. I'm just a hater just because the self-proclaimed genius FOMO bought the Ethereum top. It wasn't the top, man. He probably thought it would be the breakout. It caught a lot of people off guard. Most people thought ETH would be like 5, 6, 7K by now. But when you're a whale... Look, Richard Hart top blasted Bitcoin at $30. Dude's got diamond hands. Diamond hands. Jordan Boss says Richard's a genius. Look, he's very, very smart. You can be a genius in certain domains as well. And he is very, very smart in a lot of different domains. But my only thing about the whole appeal to authority with Richard Hart is, yes, obviously I picked Team Richard for a reason. There's a reason I'm still here. It's because I believe in the guy. But reading into it, every single thing he says, and claiming that there's some 369-degree chess going on, that's where I get a little worried. Where people are placing too much blind trust and blind faith. Like, one thing we know about Richard is he's not giving up. He cares about his projects. And he's very, very smart and good at lots of things. He's strategic. He might be playing chess, but it's not any more than regular chess. I don't know. Feel free to disagree with that sentiment. I just see a lot of, oh, Richard's perfect. Do you think a perfect guy would ever make a mistake? Yeah, I think Richard would make a mistake. PulseX V1 and V2. Does nobody remember this? See, it's funny. Now everybody says, oh, V1 and V2 is by design. It wasn't. It was just missed. That's why when he says pulsechain's never had a bug, Hex has never had a bug, he doesn't say the same thing about PulseX. Because it did. But the bug was fixed and everything's fine. So was it a devastating bug? No. Now you have a PulseX V1 and a PulseX V2. Because the fees weren't getting routed correctly on V1. Oops. But we move on and we survive, and now we've got one version that does maximum buy and burn and one version that maximizes your fee payouts, and that's okay. It's just common sense, man. People are just people. We're all human. Ross says, free Richard Hart. I agree. Free Richard. Richard is innocent. The SEC is corrupt and incompetent. And they just gotta let it go. Come on, guys. SEC, if you're watching, come on. You don't have any evidence. There is nothing. There is no fraud here. You're hurting investors. It's like the last case to finally get let go. Now, I gotta remind you guys, Richard Hart beat the SEC. The SEC lost. A judge declared that the case was dismissed because of lack of jurisdiction and failure to state a claim. So we've got 21 more days left for the SEC to file an amended complaint. Come on, guys, give it a rest. There's better stuff you can do with your time. Please listen to Hester Pierce in your weekly roundtables. I'm sure she's not happy about all this misallocation of resources. It's waste and kind of abuse because you're hurting people's livelihoods here. Thousands of people. I know the SEC is probably not watching, but that's the message. Did I read the teddy bear tweet? No. That's very generic. What is the teddy bear tweet? How should I know what you're... There's probably lots of tweets out there. And the Gray's currency tweet? No, just... Can you recap it for me, Marcus? Acid Thunder says people are flawed. Sandy Beach says, hello, coffee and everyone. MC says, I wonder what I'm telling people in the course. My course is for beginners. So, I can't speak for DCC, but my course is for getting the mindset right, getting delayed gratification, how to set up a wallet, how to keep your private key safe, the importance of crypto, the terminology, yield farming, hex staking, DeFi protocols, DeFi borrowing lending. It's a lot of the basics. It'll take you from knowing nothing at all to intermediate. And then if you join, the Patreon, you can ask me more advanced questions if you need to. Rockstar says, we will rise. Eliza says, people are way overanalyzing Richard's tweets. Yeah, it's hard when you don't get anything from the guy except for a tweet once in a while. It's like people want so badly for there to be something there that's just not there. The funniest part was the analysis of the watermark. Richard tweeted years ago about adding watermarks to memes. And, to give credit to the original memer. And then he puts a watermark, he makes a meme, and he puts a watermark, and everyone's like, shocked Pikachu, what does it mean? It's a fucking watermark. It's funny. OG Heart given the most rewards. Oh yeah, the OG token. Yeah, apparently this meme coin or whatever it is, it apparently gives you rewards in most token. I'm not really buying it, but I am happy that I got $100 for free. Thank you. Sandy Beach says, I highly recommend Coffee's course. It's very good. Thank you, Sandy Beach. Hey, Melv Tony, good to see you. Good to see you, Only Juanito. Got a lot of the regulars, the old school regulars. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm believing in a revolutionized economy sooner than later. Juanito, look, it's inevitable. You cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. These distributed systems are out there. No one can shut them off. only new people can learn about them. It sucks people in. Let's be honest here. How many of you guys are actually passive in crypto? As much as we say we're passive, it's consuming because it's so interesting. So people get sucked into crypto. They don't leave. I guess some people get wrecked and they leave, but it's very, very sticky for a core group of people, and that viral minority hits, critical mass. And you can't stop the snowball after it's rolling down the hill. So crypto is inevitable. You're going to have basically the fake crypto option where, oh, you can buy some Bitcoin at Venmo. You can buy some Ethereum at PayPal. Oh, Bank of America, you can buy the Bitcoin ETF. That's all fake BS crypto. Or you could do it yourself, hold your own private keys, and create your own systems and shill your own bags. That's what we're all doing on pulsechain. Marketing, building, promoting, doing crypto the right way. Cypherpunk, not your keys, not your coins. It's great. But you always have the option, right? You're going to have, it's like you can use a bank account or you can use your crypto wallet, basically. Are we back on MetaMask? I don't know. Today was the day. No, wait. Tomorrow's the day that apparently we get taken off of Rabby. Melv Tony says, just riding out the storm. Indeed we are. Riding out the storm. Sack rate is way too high. Well, I don't know if the sack rate was too high, but there was definitely way too many people that put in too much money with weak hands, because that's what you get. When you do a raise at the top of the euphoria, you get a lot of people that are over allocated that didn't actually believe. But look, we're almost 2 years later. I gotta think that a lot of the weak hands, god damn, every time I say this, we just go lower. But a lot of people have capitulated. Certain people are capitulating right now, selling the lows. They don't want anything to do with this anymore. They see it as a dumpster fire. They don't want anything to do with it. This is market bottom signal vibes, everybody. Bottom signal vibes. I miss the simple old days of Hex. Yeah, I do miss those old days as well. I do love Hex, by the way. I have a Hex staking ladder. It's one of my largest bags, next to Pulse and PulseX, and yeah, those are probably my largest bags. Thing about it is, I could say nice things about Hex all day long, but people aren't buying it right now. So maybe we do just have to let the bottom sellers capitulate and nuke themselves at the bottom. I don't know, it's kind of feels unethical to do this, right? To FUD your bags when you don't actually believe that in the FUD. But I almost feel like sometimes I think it'd be fun to kind of FUD Hex just to shake people out. I just don't have it in me. I like Hex too much. I can't. You guys would know that I'd be lying if I started FUDding Hex. It would just be so wrong. Digital Money Marcus says, thanks for the video about adding pulsechain to Rabby. Very helpful. Sure thing, Marcus. Don't be surprised, everybody, if Rabby Wallet stops supporting pulsechain today or tomorrow. Now, Rabby, please don't delist us. This is not a good idea for your business. Your wallet was awesome. The exploit is not because of Rabby. You don't have anything to do with it. You can keep pulsechain on. But if they decide to delist it, everybody now knows how to add their own network or switch over to internet money, switch over to MetaMask. Now you know because I made a video about it, tutorial video. He will have his glory, Rockstar says. Are we talking about Richard? Yeah, Richard will have the last laugh. And so will all of we. Just taking longer than expected. Much, much longer than expected. It's okay, here's the thing about crypto. It's given people hope, including myself, hope and optimism that there's actually something worth saving money for. Because saving money in a bank account, it sucks. It's really soul-sucking to save money in a bank account when you know that your money's not worth shit. Oh, I saved $1,000, but next year it's only going to be $700 of purchasing power because of inflation. It's almost why save money if everyone's onto the game. Everybody knows inflation. Every single fiat currency experiences catastrophic inflation over time. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Thanks, Marcelo. Says, thanks for all the hard work I do, Coffee. Thank you, Marcelo. I could work harder. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I feel like I could work harder sometimes. Sometimes I'm focused on many things at once. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. Trying to recreate the MakerDAO extract exploit, that's been very interesting. I've kind of spent a lot the last couple of days just learning everything I can about MakerDAO. Get some developers on it. The exploiter probably doesn't want this, but we need to saturate the market with more exploiters. Yes, I said it. Controversial take. More exploiters. Hopefully some of them use their powers for good. Jordan Boss says, I'm saying another year. That's cool, Jordan. I mean, I could survive another year if I had to. I'd rather it come sooner, though. Goldie says, I'm down big, but I went all in on Remember, and now I get 75 bucks a day to buy these lows. Amen. Hell yeah, dude. What is Remember token paying out? So, Remember token is paying out about 1% a day, which means you probably got 7,500. I don't mean to count your bag, Mr. Goldie, but yeah, if you got $7,500 in Remember, then 1% a day is $75 a day. It sounds too good to be true. I get it, guys. Finvesta, the whole thing, these crazy high payouts, it does sound too good to be true. But this guy's basically just using bots, and instead of taking all the profit, he's like giving you all the profit, sharing it between token holders by running our bots and market maker bots. Hexologist, this guy seems depressed. Not anymore, Hexo. Now that you're here. Thanks for the Pokemon card, bro. Seems like it was super rare. Wasn't holographic though, so I'm a little upset. Might cry myself to sleep at night. Exo's in the chat, everybody. Your local doctor. Clearly, it's time for the market to give us that old rectal examination, isn't it? Meltony says, staking ladders are ace in the hole. No EES for me. Yeah, I have a mental disease where I physically am incapable of pressing the sell button. $1% a day, that's BitConnect payouts. Dude, Soylent Green, I know, man, I know. That's why it's a smaller bag for me, right? Because it's like, sounds bad. It sounds too good to be true. I get it. Look, I'm just saying, take a little peek at it. Everybody's loving Hexo in the chat. Look at this guy. He's a celebrity. He's a goddamn celebrity. Hex has actual awesome utility. I agree, Acid Thunder. Monetizing time. Crazy concept. Staking with consequences. I don't know why more, I guess, like, I still to this day don't know anything that has a similar penalty mechanism or truth engine like Hex does. What else can we talk about? Any questions in the chat? Marcelo, thanks again for the tip. At the bottom of the bear, the $10 it is much sweeter. I remember those 1% BitConnect payouts. It wasn't every day though. Damn, you guys were all in BitConnect? I somehow missed BitConnect. Like, you would think with how retarded I was in 2017 that I would have actually bought BitConnect, but I just kind of missed it. I invested in everything else because I was the kind of guy that would read white papers and like feel smart, but not realize that it was all fucking vaporware. That was how 2017 was for me. I was like, Omise Go protocol or Neo token or EOS or whatever, Factum. All these different coins. All these different coins. T-Bird in the house. I suffer from the same affliction. Yep. What's it? It's called canceliosis. Only PLS says hi, Coffee. Hello, only.pls. Well, guys, congrats to the survivors. We're gonna look back on this day in the future and hopefully laugh about it. About how scared we were. But I'm not fucking leaving. I wish people didn't buy exploited, mega dumpable, nukeable stuff, but that's up to them. Can't tell people what to buy. I can just warn people about what's happening. ETH is so cheap, says Emilio Julio. Yes, ETH is so cheap. We won't leave. That's right, Jordan Boss. We're still here. This has to count for something. There's a lot of people here, guys. There's a lot of people. Hey, welcome to Audio Land. Thank you again for the tip. You're always here tossing me $5 bills. I appreciate that. It beats begging on the highway. No, thank you so much, man. Says, I just arrived, so apologies everyone if this was covered, but what does the current PDI situation have to do with current pulsechain drops? I was talking about this earlier, but I guess I'll recap. Like, long story short, there's extraction and everything. There's people that are still up 100x on Hex. There's people that were perma-dumping INC. They kind of put the kibosh on that one with lower INC payouts, lower Hex inflation. But now you've got this new exploiter that's estimated to, on average, sell between, let's say, $10,000 and $20,000 a day worth of PDI from the infinite recycle, liquidation, self-liquidation mint loop that so far not many people have been able to recreate. So we can survive that, but it just feels silly knowing that Richard's not behind it. Richard's not pegging it, no matter how hard people wish he was. But it doesn't mean that PDI can't be a meme coin. It's just right now it's a meme coin with a perma slow extractor. On the other hand, I also talked about Atropa, how they've got infinite mint on T-bill to dump Atropa forever, which sucks. And we've already seen him on video selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of PDI because you sell from T-bill to Atropa to PDI to Pulse and then out the door to stablecoins. And that's very visible. Now, I'm not pointing fingers and saying, oh, it's all that guy's fault, because we've got tons of whales. We've got tons of whales that have been dumping this whole time in everything. Sacrifice fund whales. But now we've got this new thing. And while I do think it's unfair to make it the scapegoat for everything of why everything is down, it is a significant factor in why things are down. So, my only little hopium I've got for you here is hope and pray that Atropa doesn't nuke it and maybe bull sentiment can overpower the guy dumping on you guys. Or somehow, hopefully, trigger the flop auctions so that somebody can buy a whole bunch of maker tokens and run the ESM module with 150,000 maker tokens. Or have as many people as possible try to recreate the exploit and use the power for good. So I'd like to see more people, more developers, more smart people looking at it, recreating the exploit, and boxing the one guy out. The more crowded his thing gets, the less benefit he gets from liquidating. Hex Wizard says, I was diagnosed with canceliosis also. Yeah, sometimes it's a deadly disease. What's up with the weird pulsating noise? It is called isochronic tones. Some people hate it. So, apologies, but it's meant to basically focus your mind. Isochronic tones are meant to entrain your brain at a certain frequency. And the certain frequency, depending on whether you want to relax or sleep or focus, these frequencies can induce different brainwave states. Like this one is for beta or focus concentration. Hey, thank you for the 8 Australian dollars eccentric views. Thank you, sir. I've staked both EHEX and PHEX till 2036. You're a madman. So have I, huh? Lol. I'm just as crazy as you, eccentric views. I think, yeah, my original 15-year stakes come out in 2036, don't they? Crazy to think, huh? And for my son, good job. He's doing it for his son. A lot of us here are doing it for our children or our future children. So I'm in it for the long time. Love your work, Coffee. Thank you, eccentric views. That means a lot. Thank you. Pierre says, I like it. I don't really see how people classify an extractor that bridges benevolent. It's not benevolent at all, Reginald. I couldn't agree more with you. I think it's maximum cope to say that somebody just extracting and bridging out potential millions of dollars is benevolent. It's not. So we'll go through the whole uncomfortable truths thing again. Some people are going to tell you comfortable lies, but Reginald is right. There is undoubtedly somebody that's been slowly extracting due to liquidating himself and buying his own collateral back and minting more DAI. He's able to run DAI join.exit. Why should we invest in the chain if it has so much drama and problems? That's an interesting question, Antonio. The potential is still there. There is drama, there are problems. But if you go to any other ecosystem, there's drama and problems there too. It really just matters on how much you focus on them and how much we can overpower them. So like I said, there's extractors in every coin. There's sacrifice people extracting. There's PDAI exploiters extracting. We can overcome this. We've seen how far pulsechain could go. We've seen the power of how high pulsechain could go within a stagnant kangaroo type of market. Remember, we were 2x above sack rate at this time last year. Altcoin or meme coins were going wild, and the potential is there, but this is all within the macroscopic lens of a kind of a retracement. Maybe you can call it a recession. Some people don't want to say that word because it's too scary, but we've been in a quantitative tightening, high interest rate environment. Look, Tesla's down 50% from all-time highs. We've got a new president that's shaking things up. All I'm trying to say is that the macro conditions, Ethereum still being under $2,000, this is causing the whole market to feel the pain, not just pulsechain. So why should we invest in the chain? Well, where else would you rather be? There's problems in every other crypto. Most other cryptocurrencies are down, minus the rotation, the endless pump and dump casino meme coin rotation. People's tech, big brain, long-term conviction narratives that they bought into, no matter where you go, people are down anywhere from 60 to 90%. And there's more drama there, I promise you. Even go to the Bitcoin community. There's drama over there somehow. There's drama in the Ethereum world. There's drama in Phantom. So it's really all about what you focus on. And I think that a lot of the people in pulsechain are focused on solutions and building their way through it and promoting and marketing to the masses. I've never seen a chain with a community that's more dedicated to actually shilling than pulsechain. Now, yeah, we might not have the same war chest from a bunch of VC investors, but that's also sell pressure, right? So I think we've got the potential, we've got the drive, the motivation, we've got the right people, both on the technical side and the marketing side. And it's all organic. Of course, nobody has to invest in the chain. But from everything I've seen, I just know, I'm fully convinced that it's capable of massive, massive potential. Still. But all that said, things could be rough for another few months, guys. It could be rough with this extraction, with all the commotion. I mean, this could get drawn out. I hope it doesn't have to be, but this could get drawn out. Can you cover leagues of non-core coins? P.S. Internet Money Wallet's a unicorn. Good shill of Internet Money Wallet. Also Portal X. Oh yeah, I like the UpX ecosystem. Can I cover leagues? Leagues of what though? Like it's coin specific, isn't it? Drama is eyeballs. That's a good point, Bruce Lee. I mean, how many people found out about pulsechain from PDAI? We could say something nice at least. PDAI actually brought in new people, and people can't stop talking about it. Even if they're in denial that they're getting dumped on, they can't stop talking about it. So, you know, having an exploit is net negative, but if that wasn't there, I might even say it's slightly net positive, right? As long as a Tropa guy doesn't nuke. Pulsechain rocks. Bruce Lee says there's a great article written about meme coins and how they don't create virality and they monetize it, instead milking the moment until moment is gone. Social currencies, on the other hand, are resilient. that is this community. Interesting take, Bruce Lee. So he's saying what we have is a social currency rather than meme coins just milking it for the moment. The culture casino, right? Oh, Studio Ghibli memes. Yeah, those don't last long, you know? The feel is different. I like the word social currency. That sounds pretty good. You could say these are all social currencies because they involve real people, real communities, showing their face, interacting with each other. Like, it's a highly decentralized network of real people worldwide rather than people with no allegiance to anything. Why are people like Sami promoting PDI if there's such an issue? Well, people have really big bags, man. They don't want the party to stop. I get it. It's wishful thinking. And again, I'll say it one more time, like, I hope that the exploit can be copied, recreated, and used for good, or I hope that it can be stopped somehow. But if not, this is just going to keep happening. So it's a reality that we have to live with. But we've seen PDI, what, 100x higher than it is today? I mean, it's down 90% from its all-time high. But you got to imagine, like, that exploit has been happening this entire time. Like, just because it's been publicly, it's been publicized in the past, like, month or so, but apparently it's been happening this whole time. Just like what I said, you know, INC, people have been dumping INC this whole time before the INC inflation rate was cut. So the market can overpower perma-dumpers. But it just sucks when you can clearly see it happening. What do I mean by if a Tropa guy doesn't nuke it? I've been saying this, if you go back and rewind, like, T-bill has infinite mintability. T-bill has a bunch of collateral with Atropa. Atropa has a bunch of collateral with, a bunch of liquidity, rather, with PDI. I meant liquidity, not collateral. So, if you can infinite mint T-bill and dump it for Atropa and dump it for a pool of about 2 billion PDI, 3 billion PDI, theoretically that's just a money printer that one guy has access to, and he's been on camera dumping in your face. He goes on camera and dumps and says a bunch of nonsense that doesn't make any sense. So whatever you want to do with that information, you process that however you want to. I don't believe that there's anything significant over there. Rockstar says, thank you. You put me on so much game. Thanks for being a beacon of light in the fog. Thank you, man. That's a really nice compliment. AYOKG says, PDI is the best conversation piece. Of course it is. Look, we're talking about it right now. He only has $2 million. Only $2 million. $2 million going through a $400,000 potential liquidity there. All right, well then let's get him out. Why doesn't he just dump everything? Sounds like he kind of enjoys being able to just dump all the time. All bridged ETH is just sitting there. PulseX reflections. What does that mean? Oh yeah, all the ETH that was just bridged in. It hasn't bought anything yet. I saw about $300,000 worth of Ethereum come in today. They are possessed. Who's possessed? We're all possessed. We're all possessed. Any idea how RH can defend himself from the case and any info about that? Look, I think his lawyers have to basically just handle it because anything he potentially says could get him in trouble or identify his location. And I think his lawyers are basically just going to be cleaning this up, cleaning up all the shit for the next couple months. Unfortunately, that's probably the route he's going. I mean, you could see how he wants to probably talk more. He put up a Christmas message a couple months ago, about an hour worth of recording. Slavin says, my thoughts are that he may just be on the run. He's not on the run, man. He's probably just somewhere neutral. Maybe he's in Russia. Who knows? No time or energy for pulsechain? I feel like you're imagining on the run to mean like someone's actually running. Like, you could just be kind of hiding out somewhere. You could just be living in Russia and have like a regular life. Like, I think you still have time and energy. Like, does Edward Snowden have no time to do anything because he's on the run constantly? Like, no, he's just chilling, posted up somewhere. Or Julian Assange, I mean, he still does a lot of stuff, right? These people don't just... Look, I think Richard's got a winning attitude, and I don't think he's the kind of person that would just let these kind of attacks destroy him mentally. Because it's completely in the mind, right? As long as you're somewhere safe, which he's told us he is, he's somewhere apparently safe, where they're not going to go get him, or where they can't go get him, wherever he is, I don't really care. I don't want to know. The only way that he could be tied down is mentally, and I don't think his winning attitude would really allow for that. Facts, I'm going to buy 1 million PDI, I'm a clown. Look, man, I think PDI probably will have an exit pump. I think there's way too many people that have too much money on the line to stop the game from going. So the game goes on. Look, if you're buying PDI, you're buying the infinite resource of human delusion. Because delusion is infinite, it probably will go back up again. It probably will. At some point. I just really hate to see people just getting... Like, it could be anything else. It could be P-wrapped Bitcoin. Honestly, why doesn't everyone just like rotate into P-wrapped Bitcoin? That'd be great. There's no exploit over there. I wish the narrative would shift into literally any other PRC20 as well. But when you take a... Okay, assume for a second that a small group of people bought billions of coins early and or know about the exploit. Then it makes sense that they will say literally anything and make up any story they have to keep the narrative going. Smoke and mirrors, guys. Lots of that going on. But by all means, do whatever you want. If you don't like me saying things how they are, like, go watch somebody that'll give you hopium. With RH's bags, he definitely would have bought a bunker and would just be chilling until all this blows over. Yeah, I'd like to imagine RH is just in a bunker. If you stumble on this and ape 5K, you are so lucky. Yeah, if you're just somehow finding out about this now. Hey, thanks for the tip, Audioland. Why wouldn't pulsechain devs be able to fix this? Well, people are using the system as intended. Like, they're exploiting the system by using it as intended. So... Like I said, it's hard to create new vaults right now because we're already at the global debt ceiling. And I would like for people to be monitoring when the debt ceiling goes back higher again. Because I'd like more people minting. I want to see more people trying to... I hope that the pulsechain devs and all the devs on pulsechain, not just the core team, but like everybody, spend a little time looking into this and seeing how they can... recreate it. The truth is, when you look on chain, there's just not that many people even trying right now. Like, it's kind of mind-blowing. It's like there's very few people even trying. I mean, there's only been like a couple of vaults open. Like, there's only been like 100 new vaults open in the past couple of days. Who's the largest holder of PMaker on Ethereum? That's going to be the MakerDAO team. Who saved stablecoin depending on DAI and USDC? I don't understand that question. Who saved stablecoin? RH sold the top of BTC into DAI and Hex? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds like Matty Allen is live. Everybody go follow Matty, I guess, and go watch his thing if you want to. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Thank you all for coming.